yours?
About 2 months ago. The guy got all his cases told.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
We had to come and see these marvelous crocoites. They're so colorful and beautiful. You've done a magnificent job of not only mining them, but preserving, which was a real problem. So I'd like to have you tell me a little bit about the process that you use to stabilize these so people can handle them with no fear.
Yeah, well, in the past, the previous mine owner was not aware of how dry conditions are over here. And crocoite, when it's dry back home, or the matrix, is nice and solid. When it's brought over here, it dries out further than it ever has, and it becomes very brittle. We now use the equivalent of Jorelma's wood glue to stabilise the matrix, and that means that does cut down on the shedding that used to happen in the past.
Good, yeah.
In this particular cabinet, we had a patch of very bright red.
Yeah, the color on these is just magnificent. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful?
It reminds me a bit of a fence line along a ridge. It's sort of, you've got the nice big...
It's just beautiful.
Good colour, good lustre.
Yeah, excellent color, yeah. Nothing orange about that. That's a good red. Yeah.
It's slightly hollow crystals still, but getting a little bit more solid and nice luster on the terminations that are there.
Yeah, that always intrigued me with crocoites. You can never figure out the termination on the crystal.
They can get very thin. It's to do with the conditions, I believe, in the main channel of growth. Conditions were such that they grew very quickly, and it lent to a lot of hollow crystals.
Yeah, look at the color on that.
This one is what I consider to be the best colour and lustre, and with a bit of translucence that we've actually found in the last 10 years.
Wonderful.
It's not the biggest crystals, it's not the best arrangement, but it is for colour and lustre.
And you say you've seen crystals up to 4 or 5 inches long in this deposit?
Yes.
Whoa.
At this stage, too thin to be of a major advantage, but we're working on it. We just need to get them a bit fatter, and then we'll be very happy.
Oh, look at this little cutie.
This particular piece is what I consider to be the best for colour and lustre that we found out of this particular area. It's just condensed down into such a complete little unit with a nice bit of dark contrasting matrix, the thicker crystals, very good lustre, and nice terminations.
Be a great addition to anybody's collection. My golly.
Yeah, well, this piece has found a new home and it's on its way there now. So I'm looking forward to the day.
What a wonderful specimen. Makes me want to start collecting crocoites again.
Beauty of that is that every last one is different too. There's no two the same, so it's something that you can collect a lot of.
Really delightful. All right.
Yeah.
That's a winner.
Yeah.
Museum quality.
Colour, lustre.
Yeah. Got it all.
Okay.
Well, Adam, I'm so impressed. I'm thrilled to have been able to see all these great crocoites, and I envy you being able to go underground and dig them. So I appreciate you having us here today and give us a little time.
Thank you very much for coming, and we look forward to you coming down to visit us.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. I'll bring my notepad. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Great.
Good to see you.
I've been hearing rumors that you've done some pretty good digging up in Colorado.
You know, by gosh, we have.
Had any success?
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah, well.
You know, every year it seems that we can find a little bit.
Good. Well, let's see what you got for this year.
You bet. One of the things we hit was what we call the confetti pocket, and here's some of the pieces from it.
Some of the amazonite from up around Pikes Peak is a little on the pale side, but this has just beautiful color. Wonderful. Wonderful.
It really does, and that's what's made the Smoky Hawk as a producing claim very famous, is this tendency for this super nice color.
That's beautiful. Hi, Krystle.
Hi.
Nice meeting you.
Good to see you.
Your dad tells me that you named the amazonite pocket the confetti pocket. Why?
I decided that calling it the confetti pocket would be the best because it had amazonite, smoky quartz, clevelandite, and fluorite in the pocket, and it was a party. Everyone's invited.
That's it. It was a party. All right.
Exactly.
Now, let's see some of the fluorite, because that's probably the least common of the minerals from a pocket like that.
Yes. This is only the second time that we've actually found fluorite in our area. And as you can see from this piece, it's very aesthetic.
Yeah.
And what happens usually is because the fluorite comes in after the amazonite forms, and in this case, it actually came in and made it more beautiful. Typically, it just covers random areas, and it's not really as you would like it. So fortunate in this pocket, it turned out to be very beautiful. And
Beautiful companion piece with the amazonite.
lots of good intense color from both of them, and wonderful shape.
They tell me your brother Tim did a little digging too.
He did. He was with us, and he's going to show you a really fantastic piece from this pocket.
Nothing fantastic. There's nothing wrong with that fantastic
No,
piece
this one's
right there.
great, but the really interesting part about this piece is we only found one smoky quartz in the pocket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tim, let's see that smoky quartz.
And this is the one quartz crystal
Oh my. Oh, look at that.
out of the pocket.
Look at the size of that smoky, and having this wonderful crescent of amazonite crystals. Just wonderful.
Lovingly referred to it as the sickle.
Okay. No, you don't want to use that as a sickle. This is albite, I take it?
Yeah, that's the
Little rosettes of
Clevelandite.
albite.
Yeah,
okay.
the albite variety Clevelandite.
What
and
a marvelous specimen. That'll show. I've never held an amazonite any more beautiful than that. The association of the three minerals on one piece, especially with this aesthetic curvature to it, it's just wonderful. What a rock. Huh. I bet you had a little bit of excitement when you dug that out.
I did.
Now, it didn't look like this when you dug it, I wouldn't think.
No, it was very, very dirty, very disgustingly ugly, and it's actually been repaired a few times.
Okay.
right.
Well,
Bob, thanks for coming in.
Oh, you're welcome.
I do have one last thing to show you.
uh-oh.
Yeah, it's bittersweet because we discovered another pocket this last summer
Okay.
as well, and it's just incredible color. You can see the color on that amazonite there.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's the termination of a
yeah,
crystal.
that's the termination.
Okay.
And I named this pocket Chuck's Pocket.
Okay.
Because our good friend Chuck Borland passed away.
Okay.
And he's been coming down to help us mine for basically the last 10 years. Just a great friend. So we had this piece.
Good way to remember it.
A good way. A lot of the material from the pocket was actually fragments, and so we just got this incredible color.
Oh.
Very few crystals, but
Let's
that's
see
a
the rest of
great
the crystal.
There you go.
Come on.
So we had this one carved.
Oh. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Look
I
at
don't think I've ever seen gem amazonite carved like that.
Can you believe
That
how
is
gemmy
wonderful.
that truly is?
What a tribute to Chuck.
Yep. So that's Chuck's Pocket.
Beautiful.
Well, thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate
care.
being here and seeing all your great amazonite. Wonderful, wonderful job you're doing.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hopefully we can keep it going.
You betcha. John. good to
Hey,
see
hi,
you
Bob.
again.
Pleasure to see you again. Thank you for stopping in
Oh,
this year.
thank you for having us in here. You've got some things that are really interesting. Smoky quartzes, for instance, that are
How
separated.
about that? Yeah, this is new material that we've recovered last year in mining, Peterson Mountain, just out of Reno, Nevada.
Okay.
And it's truly exceptional, the things that come from this deposit, including the big fat scepters that everybody
Look at
so
that.
loves.
Yeah, look at the size of that thing.
Yeah, can I pull that on out for
yeah,
you?
do that.
Yeah, this is the big one that came on out this year with the long prismatic shaft.
Look at that.
I'll hold it up against my shirt here and kind of allow a little bit of the contrast between the two. A little bit of contact here where it came up against either the pocket side or else another crystal. But we've got some real nice amethyst zoning that comes on in, along with the smoky, which is fairly typical for this deposit. These are hematite spheres.
Look at that.
I'm going to assume that they've formed within a clay zone since they're coming on out without any attachments. I'm not sure what the whitish red material is. I would assume it to be a calcite possibly. The red from a little bit of specular hematite, a little bit of powder coming on in and changing it.
Huh, aren't those strange?
But they're very neat and brand new. I mean, these have only been in the country here for less than 2 months. Yeah, this is two of the real large plates that
size of
we've brought on over now for the show. There's one larger plate that we brought on over, but these are the two that are really exceptional and stand on out. The digging has continued in the pocket, and the pocket zone continues to produce material that gets better and better and better the deeper we get into the pocket.
Did you dig any of these?
Yes, I dug this one
You
right
did?
here, and then the one over here on the right-hand side was dug by our digging partner down there, Bruce Stark.
Okay.
And Bruce was also on the video that we did in the previous format here, or the previous What's Hot in Tucson, where we went ahead and showed the digging of the crystal specimen itself.
Well, when they're stabilized like this, they far exceed anything that I've seen from the old days when you were almost afraid to pick something up. These you can handle, and there's no problem because you've done a wonderful job of stabilizing the matrix and cleaning off the gibbsite and exposing what to me is really fantastic crocoites.
It's that next step that makes it so that the collectors within the commercial mineral collecting community can really bring home some fantastic things now because of that safety factor built into it.
And then another thing that makes them, I think, very collectible is they put a lot of them in the cubes.
Yes.
So you don't have to handle them at all.
Yes.
No matter how much you handle any specimen, there's always that risk of damage. And, even for something as simple as quartz.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
Setting them like this, I think, is just an added protection that they deserve.
Excellent. Thank you
John.
so much for stopping in the room
Oh,
this
you're
year.
welcome. Thanks, John.
Excellent. Thank you.
Jordi, good to see you again.
Hi, Bob. Nice to
Welcome
meet you.
Tucson. Yeah.
Nice to meet you in your city, in your country,
well,
and in your paradise.
Look at the size of that.
You can imagine how much fabulous specimens were destroyed just because no one knew nothing about that.
Don't even talk about that.
Looks the size.
Yeah, it's marvelous.
It's a monster.
Yeah.
So magnetite.
Down in here, we're going to
Right.
magnetite.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, isn't that cute?
It's not cute.
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful? This used to come out in fairly common quantities, but I haven't seen anything like this in 20 years, maybe?
Yes.
Look at that.
And they were a little bit different before, more than Peruvian ones, elongated thick crystals. This looks a little bit like enschwaning, a little bit,
Yeah.
crystal size.
Yeah, look at that.
For a argyrite.
Yeah, those are really
From
nice.
that mine. You never hear about that mine probably. It's a silver deposit in Oaxaca, in the deep south of Mexico. And what happens is that the miners sold this material in April 2013 as tetrahedrite because they don't know so much about that.
Yeah.
And it was recently analyzed by John Attar and Marcus Origlieri, both analyzed it. And they found out that this is in fact argyrite.
Right.
And
Which is pretty rare silver mineral.
yes, and pretty good for the species. Argyrites are ugly usually.
Yeah, anybody who picked that up would say, oh, hematite.
Yeah, tetrahedrite,
sure.
tenantite,
Yeah, sure.
but not argyrite.
Wonderful.
So this is brand new, and this is also new from China, who seems never ends produce calcites.
Yeah,
This is from a different place. This is from Guangdong.
look at that. Zoned,
Yes,
poker chip
yes.
form.
We had
really?
some talk about the helvites and gentelvites from Wangan mines, but they also found danalite, and this is the iron pole of the cities. This is the danalite. But the interesting thing is that you should analyze each one individual.
I see.
Anything make difference, not color, not shape, not size, not related minerals, only
The chemistry.
exactly, just the chemistry.
Beautiful luster.
Yes.
Absolutely no damage.
No
whatsoever.
damage,
Yeah.
no.
Now, is that out of the recent find or is that an old timer?
That is mined in June 2013.
Okay. Anything like this is going to be tough to get from now in the future.
In the future, it will be a classic.
yeah.
They are
Wonderful.
much better than any other azurite in the world, including
yeah.
Sumep.
Yeah.
They are
actually-
fabulous.
Yeah, the luster, the crystal form,
Yes.
everything. Just
World's best.
beautiful.
No doubt.
That's a wonderful specimen. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Can't be better.
Can be better. Okay, Bob.
Okay.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice to meet
Thank
you.
Yeah.
Enjoy Tucson and Arizona.
Hi, Tomek.
Bob,
How
nice
are
to
you
see you.
today?
Very good, and you?
I hear. Oh, I'm great. I hear you've got some pretty sweet things here today. I was looking at a shelf back here, for instance, of apatites, and when I looked at it, I thought, my gosh, those are from Cerro de Mercado in Mexico, but they're not. They're from Morocco.
That's a new locality in High Atlas, which produced for last year. They are very similar to Mexican ones, have a little bit more green color, and a lot of them are in the matrix.
Yeah, that's the important point. The stuff down in Mexico was always on a crumbly matrix, really annoying, but this is marvelous.
They are on feldspars. There is also calcite associated with them sometimes.
Okay, and they're from where?
It's High Atlas, Imilshil area in central Morocco.
Okay. For apatites on matrix, that's really a nice specimen.
This is one of the best pieces what we mined thus far there.
Uh-huh. Is it a very, very large deposit?
No, this is super small pegmatite. It's small intrusion in the sedimentary rocks. Whole intrusions have like 500 meters.
So it is a pegmatite, which accounts for the feldspar.
Yes.
Aha, the treasure chest.
Morocco.
Oh, look at
This
that.
is hourglass amethyst with hourglass zoning.
Excellent zoning, yeah.
And this locality produced quite a few pieces, but this is the only one on matrix which is aesthetic. They always fall off from the matrix, so
Really cute.
this is unusual.
Quartz collectors love things like that.
The other really interesting specimen is this fluorite,
Look at that. On
which
matrix.
comes from Dalnegorsk, from Nikolaevsky mine. And last year there were hit a series of pockets, and one of them produced 3 specimens this quality. This is one of them. It's like specimens which were produced in 90s and 80s.
Yeah, it's on a sulfide matrix, I see. Look at that.
This is one of the biggest crystals from
Look at the zoning in that.
new pocket
Marvelous.
found in Tsarafara, Sahatani Valley. And the color zonation is very unusual, half green, half red.
Yeah, it's heavily striated, typical trigonal tourmaline. Excellent zoning and color. I understand that you are the publisher of Minerals Magazine, a new magazine. It's been out several years now, and it's available at the major shows and online. And you have a beautiful spread on those new, what they call a gumbo.
Disco balls.
That's it. Apophylites from India.
Luckily, the person who gave me majority of the information has a room just here, so we can
Really?
just walk and visit
Yeah,
him.
let's go over and see what he's got.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
walk there. So here we meet Fasi Makki, who's the person I told you about who helped us to write the article and who dig the apophylites from India, from Rauri area. And his family digs for many years in India, in Pune area. He's based in Pune. And they specialized in small finds which are done in the wells when people
Yeah, I'm
dig.
fascinated with how this was discovered during the digging of a well.
While they dig the wells are dug for irrigation purposes in the farm in India.
Okay.
And while they go to a certain depth while digging the basaltic rock, they encounter cavities. And because I'm known in the area, they call me and give me the first chance to see and work on it.
They do the professional job to remove that because the miners have no idea about minerals.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
just
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Yes,
you,
thank you.
Tom. Thank you.
Appreciate your
Thank you,
work.
sir.
Keep digging. We are at the adjacent parking lot of the Pueblo Gem and Mineral Show. It's a huge lot. They've got spaces here for well over 1,000 cars. So parking at the Pueblo Gem and Mineral Show is really no problem. They've got shuttles that run about every 5 minutes or so. So they pick you up, take you right to the door, and when you're finished your business at the show, they'll pick you up and bring you right back to your car. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better setup. That's it. All right. Thanks a lot, Sean. Appreciate it. I'm headed into the show. Good morning, Aisha and Arif.
Good morning,
Nice
Bob.
meeting you again.
Thank you.
We're very anxious to see some of your wonderful treasures from Pakistan and Afghanistan. I understand you've got some very fine fluorites from there. Let's take a look.
All right, certainly.
As you can see, the crystals are octahedral and they're stacked very nicely. There's absolutely no damage on the specimen. Even back here where it looks like there's some contact, it really isn't. It's healed over if it was a contact. And it's perfectly positioned on the matrix. Just a very fine example of a fluorite. And it looks like, a little bit like it's zoned. I can't tell without a light.
Usually fluorites from this area are
pale green or like the yellowish orange color, but the rare ones are the red ones.
The beautiful bright pink ones that are good color saturation.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's very seldom to find them.
Please, that is intriguing because it's a twin, which is not a common feature in pink fluorites. Beautiful, I'm sorry, spinel twin.
Bob, so you can.
Okay. Yeah, and the nice thing, another nice thing about it is its gemminess. You can see right through it. You know, it's holding the color very nicely. No damage, beautifully terminated, and the re-entrant angle is right here between the two crystals. So the size is good, excellent, as a matter of fact.
This is just one pocket that hit last year that produced this ruby red colors like that.
Oh yeah, and that's a little gem. This little crystal is just a jewel. It's probably the gemmiest little fluorite I think I've ever seen. It's just marvelous. Look at that thing. Beautiful crystal form, no damage. It's superb. Yeah. Reduce the size of the matrix a little bit, and you've got a really showy specimen. It's wonderful. And again, from the same area?
Same area, and again, the size, as you mentioned, it needs trimming, but we didn't have enough time for it.
Yeah, it's fresh out of the
It just arrived.
Fresh out of the ground.
It just arrived in Tucson 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
It was delayed, coming from that part of the world, but it's good. Because
these are exceptionally large. It looks like it's two different crystals, but if Arif will take it out of there and can show you, it's actually two that fit. It's a complete crystal.
We saw these, and they showed us this one first, and we thought that's amazing, such a huge crystal.
Yeah, it is. It's for the specimen, it's huge.
It's all terminated, like you see here. And then our supplier, he just, you hold it?
Yeah, there we go.
And then he pulled up this one, which is also a good size crystal. And then they go together, although they are terminated both ends here, but that's how at one time it was one crystal.
Yeah, and then it broke apart and then rehealed. So
and
that
rehealed, like...
You know, normally bastnasite is you see crystals the size of your fingernail or something.
Yes.
This is an immense piece.
I think it's got good color as well also. It's
translucent.
It's got excellent color.
Very rich brown color. It's a beautiful little tourmaline specimen, and right on it, intergrown with it, is kunzite. So in effect, you have a matrix piece, and that's rare, very, very uncommon. And when these began coming out of the Afghanistan area, everybody got excited because they'd never seen that kind of association before. Even though they occur in the same locality, they seldom occur like this. There is another tourmaline in the room that I find very fascinating. We need to take a look at it. Arif, let's go over here and see what we can show the folks. Look at the color of that piece. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's got some features that are a little different. You can actually reveal some of the other color in it. The dark cap here actually is a light blue color. You can see a really nice blue termination. It's in effect a blue cap. Okay. And where is that from?
This is from Badakhshan in Afghanistan.
Okay.
This is the same locality that's been producing lapis for over 3,000 years. And was just well known for lapis and lazulite, and they struck tourmaline. So now everybody's concentrating on the tourmaline from Badakhshan, and Paprok is being ignored.
We have three colors: the lemon green color, the pink. And the top looks sure like a black, but like you put the light on it, blue, and it's a blue.
That's a beautiful piece, and beautifully displayed, I might say.
Thank you very much.
There we go. You change it again?
Yes.
Right. Look at that. Look at that blue. Isn't that wonderful? Whoops. Arif, thank you so much for taking time to let us come in and photograph some of your really, really fine things. Aisha, thank you.
Aisha, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Wonderful.
Bob.
Mustafa,
Hi,
good to
Bob.
see you again.
Yeah,
Nice
great to see you.
again.
Thank you so much. It's
Thanks for
another
having
year.
us.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
You've got some great things here. I've been looking through your cases. We're going to be here for a while, I think.
Thank you.
I particularly like your brookites on matrix. And you've got a couple in here. Can you bring one of those out so we can take a look at it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you've got that wired down just to keep it on the cap.
Absolutely, yeah. We just have to wire them because of the shipping and everything, because they're so fragile.
There you go.
And we don't want to take risks and everything. We saw a lot of brookites in the past, but such a shape and quality, and with the chlorine quartz, it was so special for us. We normally see a lot of single crystals of brookite, but usually they are razor sharp, pinpointed. But what is so special about this is the shape is very special, rectangular. And if you see, it has a bit of gemminess.
Oh, yeah.
And what is so special about it is usually you don't feel like holding a brookite with your hand, but it's so thick that you can even hold it in your hand.
Yeah.
So usually to get it this thick and this quality.
Sturdy single.
Yeah.
Yeah. Termination is perfect. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's both. This is again from a very famous locality, Haram Wajdas, from northern area of Gilgit, Pakistan. The color is really famous all over the world from this locality because it comes really deep blue color. And matter of fact, the termination always, it comes razor sharp. And you can see a small quartz crystal grown on the aquamarine, which you can see if I point out the light.
Look at that.
The color and the term. And when you turn it that way, you can see the inclusion of the quartz from the back.
Intense green color, gemmy, and a nice cluster of crystals on matrix. Very, very showy. And that's from Afghanistan.
That's from Afghanistan, actually a very famous locality, Panjshir Valley, in northern areas of Afghanistan. This locality usually produce for cutting material, gem material, but to get it on matrix, they produce very rarely. Even if they do produce it, the quality usually is not that great.
Is it what I think it is? Hamburgite?
It is actually hamburgite, yes.
Good.
I mean, when I saw it, usually first I thought, it might be calcite or maybe barite or something. But when I noticed and I saw, it is actually hamburgite.
Yeah, reminds me of the indorites from boron, for gosh sakes.
Exactly.
For the color.
And then you have a doubly terminated. I mean, usually to say hamburgite, usually you get very small pieces, small crystal here and there. But to get it this large, actually this is a new find from Badakhshan area, where usually you find Afghanite and lapis lazuli.
Okay.
And it was a very strange and really great find.
Now, I think I heard you say earlier that you had one that was even a little bit bigger. Look at that.
Look at these.
Good heavens. What a pair.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a pair, there was with some broken. What I really like is usually you can get broken, but they are all doubly terminated. Razor sharp termination. And matter of fact, the size that makes it so special.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I personally have been in the business since I was 9 years old. Now I'm 30, and my father as well for 45 years. But we've never came across this huge size hamburgites.
Nothing.
That this is actually new find from there, and I was lucky to get the best piece of the pocket.
That's it.
And it's a very strange shaped barrel.
There, okay.
It's actually a barrel.
It's an aqua barrel.
And we think it's never been seen before. It was just found 4 months ago. And just before coming to Tucson.
Look at the zoning in those crystals.
You can see the zoning, and what makes it so special for me is when you turn it back at the back, it's a gemmy green tourmaline.
Look at that.
Yeah. So basically all the cluster is grown on a piece of gemmy green tourmaline.
Sea green tourmaline.
Yeah.
A surprise every year. It's
absolutely
wonderful. Well, this has been great. We've seen a lot of rare things and a lot of uncommon things.
Yeah, I'm happy that you guys came here.
Yeah.
As usual, every year, great job done by you guys.
Really,
and
really
I hope
appreciate
everybody would like the things that we brought this year for everyone.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Bob. Good to see you again.
Yeah, I haven't seen you since the Dallas Symposium last summer.
Yes, sir. Yes,
what have you picked up since then?
Well, I found these two beautiful, gorgeous specimens I just fell in love with.
All right.
At the Pueblo Gem Show at the International Fine Mineral Building. One is a pink fluorite from the northern areas of Pakistan.
Look at the size of that thing.
The color is what grabbed me. I just fell in love with it.
Great color and size. Yeah.
It's on feldspar with druzy quartz.
Yeah. It looks a little offset, but it kind of looks like a spinel twin.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
The second
Looks
specimen.
like you got a tourmaline.
Yes, sir. It's a doubly terminated tourmaline with druzy tourmaline from Afghanistan.
Uh-huh.
It has a blue cap, it has a green core, and has a pink bottom like the Russian tourmalines.
Yeah. It looks like it's got a fine coating of very druzy something.
Under magnification, they don't look like quartz. It looks
No?
more like druzy tourmaline.
Really?
Yes, sir.
This is really wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're gonna go to the symposium next summer?
I plan to.
All right. I'll probably see you there.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good.
Thank you so much.
I know.
Good to
There's
see
your
you.
tourmaline.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Don.
Yes, sir.
Butsu,
Yeah.
nice to meet you and
Nice to
get
meet
to
you,
know
Bob.
some of your material. I understand you really like to do carvings out of gem crystals.
I do. I
All
really
right,
enjoy
we'll
that.
take a look at those in just a minute, but there's a couple of odd things here that I want to look at.
Yeah.
That I think they're very unusual, as a matter of fact. I am very familiar with material from Bisbee, and bird's nests from Bisbee are very common, but this one is different because after this nest formed, some solution got in there that was loaded with azurite, loaded with copper carbonate, and it grew crystals.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that before. An actual azurite bird's nest from Bisbee. That's really weird. Anyone who likes pseudomorphs would love to have one of these. These are siderite pseudomorphs from Romania, and they're just marvelous. They formed on what mineral?
Pyrite? Oh, you mean the original calcite?
Yeah, calcite.
Yeah, the original
yeah.
calcite, yeah.
And then some iron got in there and they formed siderites. Let's take a look at some of your carvings.
Sorry.
Here we go. Nice tourmaline, but look at how beat up it was. That thing really must have got whacked around in the pocket. And so you took this out and had it carved. Isn't that nice? Where are these carved?
This one was carved in Bali.
Bali.
I have some carved in Bali and some in Chiang Mai.
Uh-huh. This is an emerald.
Yeah.
Okay. From Afghanistan, I think.
Yeah, Lagwan, Afghanistan.
Okay. And this god, whoever he is,
Ganesha.
He has to have a rat at his feet in the carving. So you asked to have a rat carved in. But what happened was when they carved him, the carving exposed a quartz crystal inside the emerald. I love this.
The Queen Mine.
Yeah, that's, the Queen Mine tourmalines are famous. And this is a really fine dragon. It's very exceptional. The detail on that is really something. You can see the eyes, all the skin.
Yeah, the scale detail is really...
Yeah, look at the teeth in that thing. I wouldn't want him to bite me. Jeez. What's he holding in his claws here? A sphere of some
Yeah,
kind?
sphere.
Huh. Was that your idea?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Good for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, these obviously show that you've taken an awful lot of time. Again, thanks so much for having us in here, showing me some of your things. I love your carvings. Those are just marvelous.
Thank you.
Dave, how are you, man?
Fine, how are you doing?
Great to see you.
Nice seeing you again.
Welcome to Tucson, or I'm happy to be back in Tucson, I should say.
I can't believe how fast that, from the last year, it seemed like I saw you 2 months ago, but my God, you got all these cases totally set up now.
Yeah.
And you're pretty much finished with the place, I hear.
This year was the last year for construction for us. It wasn't, fully completed last year. So this is all gallery material that is 50% off.
Oh, okay.
And basically, every year we take specimens that we've either not sold or that we've had for a while.
Yes.
And we offer them up instead of, selling them to other dealers. We oftentimes just put them out and mark them at 50% what we had on them, and the collectors get to take advantage of that discount.
Very good.
So it's fun. We get to have a lot of pretty material out, actually.
That's great.
And then if we go this way.
Okay.
This is a nice fun case.
Oh,
miniatures
my God.
case.
Miniatures. It's just unbelievable. Some of the things in here.
A lot of
Like,
people.
here's
go
an
crazy
example. See this diop aside here? Now I've seen some kind of thin ones, but to get a fat one like that, of that type of color.
Yeah, that color.
I mean, this is the world's finest diopsides that have been coming out of the ground. I've seen diopsides from other classic locality, but
But
color
they never
like
have that color, that
color is
neon
just
electric
unbelievable.
color is amazing.
Absolutely.
Lovely stuff, and I love that.
A lot
that,
of good stuff
that
in here.
fluorite there.
Yeah, isn't that a
the,
beautiful thing?
The aquamarine next to it. It was
Just goes on and on and on.
We acquired the Ross Lilly collection back in October of 2012.
Was he from Illinois? That Southern Illinois collection?
He lives in
Floyd?
Detroit, and he was the geologist working for them, finding ore bodies.
Okay, that's
and so
where I
he
heard
started
that.
building this
Okay.
collection.
Okay.
Back in almost 30 or 40 years ago.
Okay.
And he built the aforementioned collection of fluorites from that Illinois area, and he just stockpiled, and it was like 2,400 specimens.
Wow,
it was a huge amount of material, and it had incredible things in there like this.
Yeah, beautiful.
This piece is just a gorgeous fluorite. I don't know if you can see it, but these are all recrystallized.
Yes, it is.
So they come out of the ground and they've been naturally etched.
That's right.
And then you can see this deposit of calcite has grown
very much
back
so.
on the back. And I mean, the color is just
beautiful,
devastating.
Just,
the zoning
is just incredible,
it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, and you have a special little lighting. That's great how you did that.
Yeah, we can. You know, these cases allow you to light things.
That's right.
Perfectly, because you can change the position of the lights.
Yeah.
This was an amazing collection that had, I don't know, there was probably about 200 fluorites that were probably the world's best fluorites.
Wow.
I always thought that Dalnogorsk had the best fluorites. It's just quality.
Certain types.
Certain types, the clears and the light
That's
greens.
Right. That's right.
But for the colors and the variations and the, you know, just the saturation of 4 different colors sometimes in one cube, it was just phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly.
So we did a big debut in Denver at the Denver show.
Oh, very good.
And we had
I
about,
couldn't make
I
it
think
to
we had
Denver.
10 of these cases, and we rented a ballroom at the new Hyatt, and we had the whole collection on display, and we threw a big party, and that went over great. And we sold a bunch of the fluorites there and shared the whole collection with the community, and that was a lot of fun.
Well, that's
and
great.
then we recently did a deal with the Arkenstone, and they're taking a whole group of the material, a lot of more of the oddities and the strange pieces and the material that we just don't have the ability to mass market, because he has a bigger vehicle for offering that to clients, and he's going to start marketing that.
Very
It's
good.
just too much material.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
But some of the stuff is just gorgeous. Funny, when we opened the doors last night at 6 p.m., we had around 100 people outside the room, and I don't know how many we had in attendance in the end. Total there were 2 waves. There was an early wave and a late wave, but probably around 120 people came to the event, and which was great. We didn't know what to expect, and it was a great rush when everyone came in, and there was dead silence. It was silent for the first 5 to 10 minutes. No one spoke, which was really peculiar. And immediately I said, okay, somebody turn on some background music, because, you know, it was like you could hear a pin drop, because people were trying to, I could tell what was going on in the brain process. People were trying to absorb what they were seeing. They weren't ready for, you know, what they were about to see. And so Dalnogorsk predominantly produces clear cubes and greenish cubes. And they are wonderful, and they're incredible, and the best of those species, I mean, of those examples, are treasured specimens, but they're far and few between. What makes Illinois so unique is that you have blues, you have oranges, you have yellows, you have purples, you have yellow cores with purple phantoms and then a blue rind. You have those colors on white barite. You have those colors on white barite with sphalerite. You have those colors on white barite with sphalerite and calcite crystals growing off them. And the combinations are just, it's incredible. The mineralogy that was working there, the forces that created those fluorites is unique in the world. And when I got to visit Ross's collection and see that for the first time in August, you know, I was shocked. I said, holy smokes, this is something outstanding. And I didn't know, I really had no concept. Ross and I had been talking about potentially doing something with the collection over the course of probably a decade. I kept pestering him. But the reality is that I never knew what he had. I only knew from, secondhand people that had visited him or something that his collection was really good. I knew he had the great stuff. I knew he had cornered the market on Illinois, but I didn't know what Illinois was. And so in the 2 days that I went to visit him in August, and I actually looked and went through all the boxes with Ross, my whole perspective of the collection and for fluorites in general changed.
I was thrilled actually when I came in and looked around and saw the banners that sort of gave a brief description of my collection and brief historical overlook of the district. It was wonderful to see them properly displayed for the first time. It was great, and I must admit I had an absolute ball talking with the collectors and sharing the history of each rock and all that. It was fun. I expected to come here and spend 2 hours, and I think I stayed for 5. I forgot to eat dinner. I mean, it was just a blast. I couldn't have been happier.
So Ross, did Danny do a good job?
He did. Yeah. It was great. It was really a thrill.
It was fun. It was fun. We did a good job together. And Ross, dealing with Ross is, as per his character, he's a great man and really has a lot of my respect.
It's mutual.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So we've seen a lot of material from Milpilis coming out lately.
Ooh, look at this.
But
isn't that a jewel? Look at the brilliance. My God, it's mirror bright.
This has
color.
The combination of the white matrix,
yes,
and the isolation. I've seen a lot of these new ones that are these crystals that are all intergrown, and they're beautiful.
Yeah,
but they just don't have that
isolation by themselves with the light getting in there. You can see they glow.
Chris, can you bring me my flashlight? The black one. I think it's up here on the desk.
That's gorgeous. Perfect.
Thank you. And the nice thing is,
look at that.
All the little, the big blades are not translucent, but the little baby ones look like little blue.
Oh, sapphires.
Sapphires,
Cashmere blue sapphires. It should be labeled cashmere blue sapphire with azurite.
Right.
You get $1 million.
You get $1 million for that.
Yeah.
And then from the same locality.
Malachite. What a beautiful malachite. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Love that. It's all complete.
Yeah, there was one pocket of these, and there was
that's
only a
in
handful.
the
same place.
Fantastic.
Milpilis.
Great.
And those blades there are barytes.
Okay.
So clear barytes.
Very good, yeah.
There were 3 or 4 of these. I showed you one of these a few years ago. That was fantastic. It's from the same pocket.
Okay.
And then this is just fun.
Big apatite.
Big apatite from Canada, but look at how that presents.
Isn't that a beautiful double terminated too?
And glassy. Usually these things are not
dull.
nearly as sharp or perfect.
No, that's a killer. What a calcite. Look at this thing. Are you ready for this? Twinning, look at this thing. Just perfect.
We don't have any light here.
Jewel.
That's amazing. I mean, for the Kazakhstan locality, that's the best one for my money.
I've never seen anything like that.
It just sits
like it's man-made.
Look at that. Yeah, that's the view. That's how I like it.
There's the view.
Straight up and down with the crystal just boom.
Yeah. Holy cow.
It's a total floater.
Yep.
So it came off. You can see it just a couple of pieces of rock.
Absolutely isolated by itself.
And totally perfect. And it's got the acicular malachite coating the matrix, and then it has malachite that has
primary malachite
grown in the center of that big crystal.
That's right. Fabulous.
Just
top color.
This is great. This is old Himalaya.
Oh yeah, it sure is. That's a beauty.
That was in the Paul Heisey collection.
Oh boy, I haven't heard that name for
in
a long time.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
He was on the way out when I started. I was about 14 years old. Russ Binke brought my dad there. And my dad bought that piece from Paul Heisey that day. I've had that piece sitting in a drawer for
just think of that
20 years.
Beautiful.
More, 25 years.
Just beautiful.
And this is just a jewel.
Yeah, it's a jewel. Apophyllite with the still bite. India. Killer. And good color.
Perfect balance.
Perfect. Perfect. Totally all there.
See that? And then this is neat. This is fluorite and tourmaline from Staknala.
That is beautiful. Perfect miniature.
Yeah.
Look at that. Boy, these things are hard to get now. You just don't see them. I've seen some, but here with the balance of this is a killer.
Yeah.
Absolutely a killer.
Now this is fun. This is something I've branched out into. I've been working on for about a year because I have a couple of clients that are looking. They collect minerals. They want specimens, but
ooh, look at that! Thank you very much. I'll take that. Like that, a jewel of a thing. Nice octahedron.
It's 33.38 carats.
Holy!
And it's going to cut a. They do a crystal mapping of the stones, so they know what they can cut, and they can cut a 21 carat cushion out of that.
Wow!
That'll be. It won't be intense or vivid, but it'll be yellow. It won't be light. What you can see the light yellow when you have it against the white.
Yes.
But when you cut the stone,
then
it refracts all the concentration
very
of the,
much
of the
aware
color
of that, yeah.
into one area.
I had a 5 carat D flawless, brilliant cut. I
Really?
owned for a couple years, yeah. Look at this thing. Australian. Isn't that a gorgeous thing?
That's a beautiful piece.
Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that.
Love that color.
Oh, beautiful. Opals are gorgeous.
Have you ever seen a scapolite?
Not that gemmy.
And
I've seen them.
Sharp.
That's what I mean. Gemmy, sharp, perfect. Look at that thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. As soon as you handed it to me, I knew, no, this is not a topaz.
Right
It's
away,
too
you think
light.
it's a topaz quick, but it's lighter than
because
topaz.
it's much lighter. Oh, that's fantastic. It's the best one I've ever seen.
It's the
I
best
have to
one
be
I've ever
honest
seen as
with
well.
you. I've never seen anything that cool.
This is probably the best one from the find.
Oh my God, look at that.
Just crazy geometry, and I mean, for scapolite, no one's ever seen that before.
Never seen anything this quality. I've seen some of these color clear, but not.
Yeah.
This has all these beautiful faces, and it's so sharp and bright. The
Outrageous
luster
stuff.
This is absolutely fantastic.
And they're totally floaters.
Yeah,
They're
look at that.
recrystallized.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Very strange. Never saw it before.
Fantastic. Look at that. Isn't that a neat thing?
Have fun. And it's fun
That is
because
really something.
so the stalactite is growing from the ceiling.
Yes.
Like this.
Yes.
And it's grown like that.
Yeah.
And this spot right here is the water table.
Oh.
So when it's
yeah.
dripping over millions of years, and then at some point it gets here, and because something's happening, the crystals are able to grow and form in the water.
How
And it's
interesting.
just
That's fantastic.
very cool.
Yeah. Don't see anything like that around. Oh
No.
my God.
This is from the same formation, but a different style.
Oh yes, yes, yeah. Look at that. Are you ready for that?
And the glassiness, I mean, look at the quality of the calcites.
Beautiful. All the
This
way
is all
around.
doubly terminated here.
Yeah, it's all complete.
And it looks like some sort of spaceship or something.
Yeah, look at look at that thing.
Looks like it's from Star Wars, or I don't know. But it's beautiful.
It's amazing to find stuff today with all the minerals that have come out of the ground over the years. Still, different, unusual things come out.
Yeah.
It really is amazing.
So this is something that I got for one of my clients, and I know it's not naturally grown in nature. And you've seen this material, you'll recognize it right away. But for what these are, this
Zincite?
is by far the best example.
Not even close.
And so these were grown in, I think, a furnace or a smelter, I
Yeah.
forgot, in Poland.
Okay.
And they're a byproduct from the smelting process. But, I mean, the fact that they crystallized. And
Yes.
It just,
And the color.
is, you know,
it's
incredible.
fantastic. Beautiful. Yeah, I've seen clusters like this and
Yeah.
you know, things, but
not like that.
Not like that.
This was one of the
And
mine
color.
engineers that worked there. And he had bought this and kept it in his collection. Or it produced and he got to keep it.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Incredible thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the temperature
Totally.
sensitivity.
Look at this thing. Oh my God. Isn't that a killer?
That's
It's
insane.
the best big one I've ever seen.
It's the best big one I've
Without
ever
big
seen,
cracks
too.
running through it.
Yeah. I mean, look at it. It's
Oh
like
my
near
God.
gem. It's one giant crystal
Unbelievable.
sitting on another smaller crystal. I mean, the color is just
Never seen anything like
devastating.
that. Yeah, it's the biggest one I've ever seen of size of crystallization.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Phenomenal.
God.
So this was.
These are really neat.
These
Yeah,
are
look at
wild
this. Oh yeah,
things.
this is totally different. No, I haven't seen any of these, that type.
So those are halites, and they're grown stacking, and then you have these selenites, crystals growing off at all different directions, these twin fishtail selenites, and then there's another generation of halites grown on the selenites.
Okay.
So it's just, this is wonderful combinations.
Fantastic.
Totally new find.
Okay.
And they
no, I haven't seen any of these.
They glow like crazy in a UV light.
Yeah. Okay. Because when you said Germany, I said, "Oh, I don't remember that locale."
Yeah, it was an old salt mine.
Okay.
And they hadn't operated it in like 100 years, and they were doing because salt mines can be dangerous places where they'll keep eroding, and then if there's empty hollows, they'll fall in.
That's right.
So they were doing a cut under a roadway to get into where there was some tunneling because they were going to backfill it, and they opened up this huge pocket in a 100-year-old mine.
Wow.
So it's neat because the halite fluoresces orange.
Yes.
And the selenites fluoresce like a white through the cores.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool combo.
Beautiful.
So great mineral specimens and also great fluorescence.
Yes.
I mean, look at this. This is crazy. The way that the halites are.
Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful thing? And when did this come out?
You know what? I think right before the Munich show this year. So like probably October.
Okay.
Not October. September. Probably September, October.
Yeah.
Of 2013.
Right. Okay.
This is one of my favorite new minerals.
Ooh, look at that amethyst.
This thing,
That's beautiful.
It's a total floater.
Is it African?
African.
Yeah. Look at that thing. It's totally complete.
It's totally complete. It grew. There is no point of attachment. I can't find one.
Is it right here? What's this? Right there.
No, that's terminated crystal. That's doubly
it is.
terminated.
It is, yeah.
They're all
It's
double.
all complete. The whole thing is complete.
Total floater.
I'll take that. Thank you very much. Look at that.
That's just a gorgeous
aesthetically, that is an extraordinary thing.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love that. This color.
Look at that.
You know, there's all varying degrees of color on these things, and I mean,
that is extraordinary.
This one has
top color.
Outstanding color and luster.
It's top color.
And the nice thing is you can now handle them because he gets them here.
Yes.
With this system in these little cubes.
Yes.
And then you can take them off the bottom where he's glued them down,
Yeah.
and they have handleable matrices. So it's not really dangerous to handle them once you've gotten them here.
Yes.
It's getting them to where you got to go.
That is correct.
That's the trick.
That is the trick.
But you can hold these with matrix easily now.
Yeah.
Putting them in the case. I mean, I have one in the case over there.
Yes.
But I mean, the color
That's
is just
wonderful.
devastating on these things.
And then they're like little bushes coming out of it. Look at that thing. It's just amazing. You can get those out of the ground and get them here all the way to the United States.
Yeah. He does a great job.
He really does. I mean, that is really amazing. I just pulled out of the box here a killer smithsonite of deep rose pink color. And it's just fabulous. And they're very hard to get nowadays. They're not finding this today. This came out of a collection, it's obvious. But that is fabulous crystallization in combination of the deep rose color that they are. Because they do vary in the color. And this happens to be a very, very fine deep color.
People, this is really fun and still late.
Oh my goodness. One of these quartzes.
These quartzes and
That
hematites.
is really something. Look at the size of this with the roses, yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
From China. They came out a few years ago.
Yeah, they came out a while back. This is a new find with some sort of like...
Okay. They're more red-like.
Yeah, more red.
Yeah.
Definitely more red and has a red-orange tone to them.
Fantastic. God.
Beautiful piece, just a radiating
See,
spray.
there's one thing I'm noticing, Daniel, is that you have so many things that are complete.
Yeah.
That's what's hard to get in good minerals, to get it all complete, everything, not just a chunk and then this part here. Everything is just so well balanced.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
Balance
You
and
got
efficiency. I've been looking at Brazilian amethyst for years, and there was a geode that was produced in Brazil and by the company Lodi Stone. And Lodi Stone is probably one of the biggest amethyst dealers in the world. has a huge monopoly. And I think, I'm not sure, I think his name is Giovanni Lodi. He's one of the owners of the company. They produced this geode and they kept it for himself for 15 years. Wouldn't sell it because the quality was just so outstanding.
Holy cow. And that's Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like that. That's unbelievable. I would never think it was Brazil. No wonder they kept it.
Look at that.
It's unbelievable.
The points where you could cut giant
Oh yeah,
stones out of that.
yeah, there's a lot of
Size
cutting
of golf
in there.
balls.
Yeah, that's an unbelievable thing.
The saturation
I mean,
of color
it's as good as amethyst gets. Period.
Yeah.
And then the perfection of it and the
Yeah,
size,
it's all glassy,
the gemminess.
perfect.
Yeah, that is totally unbelievable.
We just got this delivered here, so we don't have the nice presentation, but I thought I would at least share it with you.
I'm so glad you did that. That's a major, major thing. You never think of amethyst, that type of coloration, side. I mean, it has everything that you wouldn't think it was Brazil and think it was like Uruguay or something. I mean, Uruguay. And here it's from, you say it's from Brazil. That's unbelievable. Yeah, look at the size, that top. You can cut stone, not that you would ever do it, you'd be crazy, but look at the quality of color. It's got that red, and it's a Siberian red type of amethyst.
It's just crazy.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Thanks, Daniel, once again.
Great to see you,
wonderful
Dave. Thanks for
job,
coming.
and what a variety.
Jones.
Hello, Mr. Jones.
Yeah, better known as Bob and Evan. How you doing?
Great.
All right. You've got some things that I think we should share with the general public, like that manganite up there.
Okay.
That's a classic. You know, it's from Ilfeld, Germany. Can you pull it out of there so we can take a better look at it?
Certainly.
Yeah. Manganites from Ilfeld tend to be sort of clustered, but this has a lot of individual freestanding crystals, so I think it's quite exceptional.
That's what we liked about this particular crystal plate. The separation of the large crystals is unusual. With the ground mass of smaller manganite crystals behind it makes for a really pleasing
It's got great luster.
manganite specimen.
Good position. Excellent cabinet specimen. Really fine.
This is from Morocco.
Oh, okay.
This is a relatively recent find. There's been quite a number of these coming out the past couple of years. This is a particularly nice piece. These are quartz crystals coated with azurite and malachite. It makes for a very aesthetic
very showy.
specimen.
I mean, it's so colorful and beautiful positioning. Really quite nice. These are really tough to get now. You know, they hit the Lagrandites when the water table dropped down at Mapami. They got into the Lagrandites. Then the water table came up again, and the supply was cut off. But then it dropped again later on, and more of them came out. But this is particularly showy on that brown, I guess it's a girthite matrix. Very, very fine.
Yeah, this is nearly a 4-inch spray.
Wow.
Of crystals of Lagranite.
So that's an early.
Yeah, this is an
type.
exceptional piece. This, I'm
Great
sure,
color,
came
great
out
luster.
in the 1960s.
Okay.
Yeah, this is in marble. It's been, exposed to reveal the ruby crystals.
Yeah.
This is from Ahmedabad, Pakistan.
Okay, yeah, it's got great color, beautifully terminated, no damage, very fine little cluster. It's wonderful. Excellent mineral, excellent specimen.
This mine is well known for its azurites, but it also produces other copper minerals. These are some very lovely velvet malachites that came out in the summer of 2013.
Okay. What I like about that one is that it actually looks like a figure with a backpack on it. And are they very? Is the malachite very soft and?
Yeah, the surface is a little fuzzy.
So you don't want to say, "Ooh, look at that," and stick your finger.
No, you don't want to do that.
But I love these because they have all kinds of shapes, and you can make up a name for a specimen.
Yeah, they're wonderfully anthropomorphic.
Yeah, really nice.
Look at the color.
Oh, look at
this
that.
cuprite.
It looks like Proustite. It's so red.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that color. Wonderful.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of azurites from this locality. The cuprites are much more difficult to get.
Yeah. Are they getting it down below the carbonate zone? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, the cuprite has been coming from near the sulfide ore body.
Ah, okay. Yeah. When they get out of the carbonates and into the sulfides.
Yeah, they're in the supergene enrichment zone.
Okay.
So yeah,
the color on that is just intense. Really. There's been a lot of mimetites found, but this, I think, is the finest mimetite ever found in the United States. I was collecting in this mine in the 1960s, and we'd find a little mimetite with the wolfenites were always nice, but the little mimetites were okay, but they sort of served as a background to the mimetites, or to the wolfenites. But now, the mimetites are coming out as a supreme mimetite specimen, and that big one back there, if you can pull it out of there, is really wonderful. I honestly think these are the finest mimetites ever found in the United States. That is just marvelous.
Yeah, this was one pocket, apparently, that produced these mimetites.
Yeah. Recent?
Fairly recently, yeah, in the fall of 2013.
Okay.
And yeah, I have to agree, these are among the best, if not the best mimetites from Arizona and the United States
No
in general.
Yeah, and when I used to dig in this mine, we could only get to the first level. The lower level was full of water. But sometime in the last year or two, they drained a nearby reservoir, and that dropped the water table, so that made the second level accessible. And that's where these are coming from. The guys were able to get down in there and dig these.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Okay, Dad.
We're going to go dig in mimetite. How about that?
It's a deal.
Good morning, Elaine.
Good morning, Bob.
You again.
Nice to see you.
Wonderful. You have a nice variety of minerals from all over the world.
Yeah.
Some old, historically important, some recent, and I'd like to have you share a couple of those with us.
With pleasure.
Down on the lower shelf, there is a peridot that is from one of the most ancient of mines.
This
You
is
never see these anymore.
This is a good elongated crystal. The color is also very nice.
Yeah, good color. Nice
It's
termination.
reheal on the back with some iron oxides.
Right.
It's certainly from the late 19th century, the
When it was
specimen.
dug out, yeah, the island, the source of those was lost, and then I think it was the British who rediscovered it and began mining again. But that's just such a classic,
super classic,
great history behind the whole species.
Yeah, from Bouazer.
Okay, classic locality.
Yeah, and it's a recent discovery from from last year.
Oh, okay.
But what I like is a cubo-octahedron shape.
Yeah, great crystal form.
Yeah. Nice luster, and it's like a bowl of crystals. It's not too bad seated on a few matrix. I like that.
Yeah, good piece. Yeah, you don't see that around much, and I'm glad to hear they're getting more. Maybe we'll see
only a few, really.
Yeah, okay. Another locality that I'm familiar with that I would like to see again is the galena from
Madan.
Yep.
Madan in Bulgaria.
Yeah.
You know, the mine is more or less closed for the ore, but the shaft is still working, and so some retired miner use it to go digging.
Yeah.
That one was found 2 or 3 years ago. And
it's a twin, isn't
it's
it?
a twin.
Yeah.
Super fine twin.
You know, galena is often a little on the dull side. That has mirror bright faces on it. It's just really
This
sharp.
is really super galena. Super galena.
Yeah. And what's all over the matrix?
Quartz, alpine style, with a few chalcopyrite and a few sphalerite.
Little sulfides, Okay. But that's so lovely. Beautiful form.
With chalcopyrite twin.
Yeah. Little twin.
Nice chalcopyrite everywhere. And as you can see, the steel bite is only coming on one side.
Yeah.
Certainly the specimen was like that in the pocket.
Yeah, and there was probably a flow or something that oriented it on that side. Yeah. That is really a sweet rhodochrosite.
Yeah,
so different from the rhodochrosites when we get here in the States.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And that specimen was a very big one with a broken part in the middle. We cut in 3 specimens. The 2 others are one in Carnegie, and the other in School of Mine of Paris.
Okay, okay. That's nice, yeah.
Thank
For
you.
people who love rhodochrosite, that's a nice one.
Yeah, I think
Really
so.
nice. Now I have to put my glasses on.
Right. It's not that small.
Huh.
It's a blue cove dorskite. On collinite, these are very rare phosphate coming from the syenite rocks from Kola Island, north of Russia.
North of Siberia, isn't it? Yeah. It's it's on syenite.
Yeah.
Huh. Look at the zoning in that. Lovely little blue colors in there, nicely terminated. I don't recall ever seeing a crystal like that for that mineral.
I think it's one of the best from the species.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah. Really rare and unusual. Well, thank you so much for showing us all your minerals.
Thank you, Bob.
It's a great way to end with a very rare specimen that I'd never seen before.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ian, always good to see you.
Good to see you, Bob.
Welcome back from England.
From rainy England, yeah.
Your favorite place. My favorite place, as a matter of fact. I've often told people that if I could live in England 3 months out of the year, my choice of months, of course.
Don't go there in the winter.
No, it's really a wonderful place. It really is. Of course, my mother was from there, so look at that.
Just incredible.
Yeah. So this came out when the iron mines were really roaring during the Industrial Revolution of England.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a wonder it survived.
Very few of this quality were ever found, and this is from the famous Nigel pit, which is near Barrow-in-Furness.
Okay, I remember that.
And it's just completely three-dimensional.
Lovely.
Yeah, beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's a great piece. Oh yeah, you've got another piece there from South America that I want to see. These are so wonderful.
Well, this is going to surprise you, Bob, because this is not from South America.
No?
No. It's a new find from Turkey.
You're kidding.
No, it's a brand new find from Turkey.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Absolutely bizarre thing. Hollow stalactites.
Yeah. No, it doesn't look hexagonal, but was that a quartz in there, or?
We can't see any crystal shape inside.
No, I can't.
They're just totally unique. I've never seen anything like it.
Great.
The South American ones are always they're always quartz filled, but these are completely hollow.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
My goodness, is that a recent piece?
It's a recent find. Yeah. Yeah. This
exceptional.
This is super from the Tasna mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, really a super
What coverage? I mean, God, you got 100 crystals on there, it looks like. Isn't that some piece?
And they're nice because they're not all intergrown.
Yeah, they're
nice
individual, freestanding, no damage, great luster, good dark color. Yeah, wonderful piece. Huh.
It's one of my favourites because they're so rare.
Yeah,
Usually these come out as big, damaged, clunky specimens, but this is an elegant, beautiful cabinet specimen.
Titanites on quartz.
Yeah.
And that's from Norway.
From Norway, yeah. Nice little amaze,
Yeah, I remember when a few of these came out. Most of them were single crystals, as I recall, and the groups were not in good condition. But that's nice. There's no damage on that.
No, this is super.
It's really slick.
Yeah. You see hundreds of azurines, but I think that's one of the nicest we've ever had.
Yeah, what's the locality on this?
Mount Melosa in Malawi.
Yeah, that Malawi has come on recently, bringing stuff out. That's great. I can remember when a few galenas came out of the Mogul mine years ago, but I don't remember seeing anything this good.
No, the Mogul mine in
really
Ireland, it had a... it only worked for about 10 years, and during that period, very, very little was saved. It was a Mississippi Valley type deposit.
Okay.
And very few specimens were saved. And in one area of the mine, they found these incredible gem sphallerites with Neudorf quality galenas.
Yeah, they're beautifully modified.
Beautiful things. And this again was from Michael Harris's collection. Probably one of the specimens brought back by Richard Barstow and David Lloyd.
But this witherite is really sweet. It's got doubly terminated in some places. Nice crystals. What's the material it's on? Calcite or?
Yeah, it's probably calcite. It's but the thing about this specimen, for those people that don't realise who Philip Rashley was, he was one of the world premier collectors in Cornwall, England.
Right.
This is only aragonite. But have you ever seen an aragonite like that? From it's one of the real old classics from Austria, from Hüttenberg.
Oh, really?
Famous iron mining district. Yeah.
God, you got pseudo-hexes and flowery aragonite. I say aragonite, you say aragonite. Well, it's named after Aragon, Spain, so I prefer that. But very, very nice. Snow white, excellent crystals, no damage.
This is one of the few great gold locations in Europe. It's a Norwegian gold.
Norway?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Famous Bomlo gold mines, and very, very little ever came out. And this is a truly exceptional gold specimen from there.
Yeah. Massive and crystallized from Norway.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Found in the mid-70s, and very few of them were saved. Very
the mid-70s. Okay, so it's not really ancient.
Not ancient. It's one of the finest Mexican golds ever known. It's crystallized, and it's just truly exceptional for a Mexican gold. That's truly a special.
It's not unmatrixed, and it looks a little bit stream worn on the back. How was that found?
This was found about 10 years ago by a metal detector operator in Baja, California.
Okay.
And it's yeah, it would have been an alluvial gold. So it's still pretty sharp. And very sharp. Look at very sharp right in there. Yeah. These are linerites from the Grand Reef mine in the Galleros Mountains, and the color on this is just intense. Yeah, it's a special
just
color.
Marvelous. Wow. Yeah, I was never this successful in digging. That mine has a lot of history behind it. It has produced some really fine cerussites along with the linerites. And Dick Jones was the fellow who began to bring these out in the 1980s. And once he began bringing them out, then other people went in and dug. And there's been some very fine linerites found there. The rich color of these is just wonderful. I admire the strailers who get up into those mountains and they're freezing to death, and they're working in cold water and ice and snow, and
they really are one of the rarities of the mineral world, and a true European classic.
Yeah. What's the locality on this little guy?
These are Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc. Okay.
All the best color comes from Mont Blanc.
Okay.
You want to see the secret Bob Jones bathroom box?
There we
Is that
go.
what you're saying?
There we go. Yep.
This is from the Michael Harris collection.
Oh my goodness!
And I guess when was it? 1978. These came out. The famous Jonas pocket.
Yeah, the Jonas pocket. Right.
And this is a really super Jonas pocket.
Marvelous.
Tourmaline, and
that thing's a foot long.
If Deanna turns it around, it's great, because what you're going to see is that it's actually a complete floater.
All the way
around. Even the back and the bottom are terminated.
It must have formed in a clay pocket, because there's no damage and no point of contact.
No, absolutely.
Whoa!
But the colour is one of it's great because it has the colour and the luster.
Yeah. Intense colour.
Only Jonas.
My goodness gracious!
Yeah,
that is a marvelous specimen. Look at that. Where is that from?
This is from Urucum in Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah. And Michael Harris actually bought this at auction at Sotheby's auction in London in 1972.
Wow.
When Sotheby's were doing mineral auctions back there.
And great peach color down here.
Fantastic zoning. Look at
it comes right up like that. What a marvelous spell. Look at the size of that thing.
And it's actually
sharp.
Actually very, very heavy.
Oh, I can imagine.
So
better you than me.
Let's just carry on talking while Deanna holds it for us.
Nice. That's not fair.
How many cut stones would you like to get out of it?
Oh no! You don't cut nice gem crystals. That's one of my hang-ups. It just annoys me when somebody takes a perfectly good crystal and starts cutting it up. Damaged ones, go ahead, but not nice things like this. That is really something.
I see one right in the middle.
I love the modifications on the termination. That's really a fine crystal. Look at that.
It's just a huge
You see right through it. Photogenic as can be. Look at the size of that. The luster and the crystal form of the siderites is wonderful, and then to be dressed up with all the little quartzes on it. What a piece. I've never seen anything like that except in the French Museum. What a specimen.
Yeah, it's one of the finest ever to come on the market.
Now, that had to have come out some time ago. I mean, that area's not working now, is it?
This is believe it or not, quite recent.
Is it really?
Within the last 10 years, yes. They got into a very nice pocket of them, and this
Okay.
was the very best one that was recovered.
Yeah, well, I can imagine that. Boy, that's wonderful. Thanks, Ian.
Okay, good to see you, Bob. Thanks, Brian.
Anton.
Hi, Bob.
how
Great
are
to
you?
meet you here. Yeah,
Nice
I'm fine,
seeing
thank
you
you.
again. You've got some wonderful specimens.
Yes,
here.
I brought some really beautiful specimens.
What I like is that you have some that are historically important and old. I always like old classics, and you've got a Praszkier down here.
Yeah.
That is really an old timer.
It's huge crystals. It comes from Grube Vater Abraham Marienberg in Saxony, Germany. See the color?
Yeah. Do you have
I
any?
think I have another
maybe
torch
your
here.
light's better.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is better.
Yeah. Have any,
It shows up really great.
Have any
on
idea
backlight.
when that came out of the ground? How long ago?
18th century.
18th century.
Very
Oh,
old,
wow.
very old piece.
That's marvelous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See the size of the crystals. This
Yeah,
crystal here
yeah,
at the bottom
yeah, this
is
one
at
here.
least 2 inch tall, and it shows up this red, beautiful color.
It's a
Well, there
wonderful
is a wonderful patina on it, as they all get this patina.
Yeah, right.
See,
Yeah.
this gorgeous
Look at
specimen
those
was just mined last November, so
Yeah.
this is just 2 months out of the ground, maybe 3, something like that. This was found between the upper and the lower Red River pockets that Adam had discovered earlier that year. And at the end of these pockets, he found another chamber that was right in between these 2 chambers.
Okay.
And these wonderful quality, this wonderful arrangement of Crocoite crystals up to maybe 2 inches in size.
What I
came
like
out
about,
of
what I like about it
this
is
pocket.
he has figured out how to stabilize that matrix, so this is a very sturdy specimen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the box protects it
of course,
from dust
even
and
more
anything
so.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, this is the biggest unrepaired crystal from the Knappenwand I've ever seen. Yeah, it has gorgeous color, as you see. It has the very famous plechorism. You see both the red and the green tones as you turn it, or tilt it a little, as you rotate it. Yeah,
it's dichroic. That's right.
And all the terminations are fully pristine.
Yeah.
As you see, it's an aggregate of several crystal growings in parallel growth. Yeah,
size is
all
impressive.
terminated. Yeah. Like a skyscraper, don't you think so? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
Could
been
easily
out,
be,
that's been out of the ground a long time.
Yeah. This was found, I think, around 1920. It was found before the Second World War, and this survived in Dresden because the curator of the museum, Dr. Gwelmaltz, took it out of the display cases. Yeah. And
so it was a museum specimen.
It was a museum specimen in
Ah.
Dresden during Second World War. This was found in the 1970s.
Wow. Okay.
In the Gotthard Tunnel.
Oh,
the
okay.
tunnel they dug between Canton Uri and Tessin. Yeah, they went to the south, and they dug one pocket of these fluorites there. And the special thing is, the fluorites came with apophyllite. See, all
there it
this,
is, yeah.
this aggregate
see it
here
Yeah,
and here in
yeah,
between is all apophyllite.
Plate forming apophyllite.
And it grew on chloride matrix. Actually, the chloride grew into the fluorite. And as you see on the back, it's a big surprise. The fluorides are totally included by the chloride and look almost like black.
Almost black, yeah.
There is some quartz in association, which is typical of the alpine pockets.
Yeah, the fact that it was found during the excavation of a tunnel makes it a little bit special. I like that. Yeah,
right.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is truly an important piece.
Yeah, that's got to be an old timer
it's
too.
a 4-inch doubly terminated azurite crystal that was altered to malachite. But what's so special about this? The malachite formed real roses within the original structure of the azurite.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
See the outline? There still the azurite remained.
Yeah. That reminds me of the Bosch collection and things like that.
This came from the Sigmund collection.
Okay.
Professor Sigmund was a very famous collector in Austria at the mid of the 20th century. Yeah. Sigmund purchased this piece in 1956. Yeah.
There we
So this in 1956 for at the time 1,500 shillings. Which is an equivalent to maybe 100 euros today. Maybe a bit more than $100. So.
150, something like
Yeah,
that. And I love the rosettes on that, the malachite rosettes. That's really
it's a gorgeous piece of
it sure is.
important historic value also.
Wonderful. Well, that's great. I really appreciate you taking the time to share these with us.
My pleasure, yeah.
Anton, thanks so much.
Yeah. See you here next year.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Robert?
Yes.
Thanks for having us today.
Thank you, Bob.
You have a specimen here that Blue Cap Productions really has to film. It's right there.
Yes.
Can you pull that out of the case?
Certainly can pull that out of the case.
How did you acquire that?
We acquired this from Peter Lickberg.
Okay.
It was in his personal collection.
Look at that.
And he acquired this from Gerald Clark in Costa Mesa, California in February of 1989.
Yeah, Gerald was a great collector. Yeah, that's out of the original Blue Cap pocket. Boy, all right. I have never, ever seen a burl like that is colorless and not tabular. Look at the crystals on that. That's Goshenite, of all things, colorless burl, and it has no color, and the crystal form is so different from any Goshenites I've ever seen that I just had to talk about it.
It's a beautiful specimen. It's an ex-Baumann piece.
Okay.
He was a premier collector of pieces from that area. And this, I've never seen another one like this as well, just one small one.
But look at the amethyst zoning in that, and the clear quartz, and of course then the Smokies.
Yeah, it's a beautiful skeleton.
It's marvelous. Very unusual combination. Common in amethyst, Smokies, and yet an unusual combination in a crystal of this type. Really pretty. Yep.
This came out about a little over a year ago, we believe, and Peter talked to us about this when he visited us, and the pocket was named after him. It had bicolored topaz in it, and we are told this by the mine owner as well as Peter that this is the finest piece that is in that find. It was a very small pocket.
That's a Peter's pocket topaz from the Ukraine.
Yep.
All right. Well, Peter, I'm sure would be pleased to get a look at that sometime. Yeah. Maybe he can come in here later.
And for those detail people, it's shaft number 3.
Okay, yeah. But that's great.
Yeah.
There aren't very many people who've had a pocket named after him, but Peter Lickberg deserves it because he's such a great guy.
He does.
What a great specimen.
Thank you very much.
All right, Robert. Appreciate you having us here and showing us that topaz.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Wolfgang, good morning.
Good morning, Bob.
Yeah, welcome
nice
again.
To see you.
Good to see you here in Tucson. Karen, you too.
Good morning, Bob.
You
Hi.
add some real stunning beauty to the video. Why not? I was looking through your cases here, and immediately this beautiful chalcopyrite caught my eye. It's got great luster, great color. Yeah. Where is that from?
That's from the Friedrich Wilhelm mine close to Herdorf in the Siegerland. This is completely naturally.
Yeah, no iridescence, just beautiful. And the locality on this is?
It's Horny Slavkov. In Germany we call it Schlagenwald in the Czech Republic.
The old classic locality.
Yes, and you see the distinctive twin here.
Yeah, look at the luster on that.
Yes.
Wonderful twinning.
Yes.
It's just a marvelous piece.
Yes.
Oh, look
very rare that cassiterite from this location are comparable with some Bolivian.
Most of them don't have the luster this one's got. They're very dull.
You see, Allegentum is in the formula a little bit the same than dyschrosite, but it contains more silver than antimony.
So higher in silver and less in antimony.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this is the kind of species you read about in the science books, you know.
Yes.
And but you never hope to see a good one like this. This is really nice. These used to be very common. There were a lot of them around.
Yes.
And most of the ones that were around had the tips broken off, and they were friable. They didn't hold together well in some cases. That's a wonderful spray of crystals of disclosite from Grootfontein.
Yes. Yeah. You see, I agree with you. It's very difficult to get an undamaged specimen of this. We call it Feartrees. It's. I was very surprised to find the undamaged specimen in a collection. Yeah. Normally, there 30–40% are completely damaged.
Brushy Creek for a while produced quantities of calcites.
Yes,
but
this is
look at that.
Stunning
look at that
yes.
lovely twin. Look at that. You can see it even better from the backside, maybe. Isn't that nice?
Also totally undamaged.
Yeah, yeah.
Lucers, yes. I like this specimen very much.
Brushy. Yeah. Isn't that lovely? Boy, can you get a close-up of that? Look at the delicate network of wires.
It's very, very, very fragile, but also very aesthetics.
Wonderful. And again,
I have very seldom seen a sapphire in this quality before on matrix from this locality. It's from the Sasafotsi quarry in Madagascar.
Wonderful.
Yes, you see perfectly terminated with a fantastic striation.
Lustrous, sharp.
Yes. This is a specimen which was in the past photographed in the mineralogical record in the manganite article.
It's beautiful. Yes. Beautiful setting in smaller manganite crystals and a perfect cross.
Yes.
That's a rarity.
Yeah. And that Ilfeld manganites, they are quite new.
Are they?
Yes, only a couple of years old. When the city of Ilfeld decided, together with the mining companies, the mining departments, they want to reopen the mines and close them forever. And some collectors recognized this and went in and kept out a bunch of specimens, and this is the best from this.
So it is now closed, but
now it's completely closed. Yes.
But, well, we've had a very good time looking at your fine things. You have some great European specimens.
I thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. For
thank you, Bob.
having
It was a pleasure to have you here.
Okay, hi, Mike.
Hey, Bob.
Good to
How
see
are
you
you?
again.
Taking over for Dave.
No. I'm just a temp. Okay. And you're here because of a little snow up north?
Yeah, you know, it's always great to come here, obviously.
I wouldn't live up there for all the tea. Tell me something. What's new? I know you're always getting something new. What's new?
There's a couple of things that are new. In this case, these are fairly recent. They hit the first of them about 6 months ago.
That looks like Ukraine.
It's actually not. That's why they're unique. It's from Jacateau in Brazil.
Okay.
So they look very similar with that etched look.
Yeah.
And
nice color. Jeez.
Yeah.
Beautiful heliodor.
That's what people think. It's Ukrainian. So
just a touch here of feldspar. That's nice.
It's kind of, you know, the etched and then the Pinnacle termination.
Perfect termination on the top. Yeah. Good gem diopside is not easy to get, and you've got a small one there that's really nice.
Yeah, this is not new. This was from the find several years ago, but you know, it's got two crystals and both of them are terminated. It's got a little graphite on the back, which is typical.
And the locality is
Merlani. It's Arusha.
Okay.
So
nice.
Very nice. Good color. This is pentagonite, but for what I've seen, this is my favorite I've ever seen.
Yeah.
To have a complete spray and to have no damage on these is extremely rare. And you can see even where they detached it, it didn't break any of these in the back.
Yeah.
So again, this is probably my favorite.
Let's acknowledge a friend of mine by the name of Wendell Wilson.
Oh, I know which rock.
There it is.
The Wen Wilsonite.
Yeah, we just got to
from Morocco.
Yeah. He doesn't blush as good as this does.
I'm telling you, you should probably tell him to come and buy that. He probably doesn't have one that good.
Yeah, it is a good one. It really is. I don't like it. Because the crystals are bigger than Bob Jonesite. No, that's a nice rock. Yeah, Wendell deserves the recognition. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. We've got rosacite from not the so recent, but they're trickling out now. But this one is a great one, I would say.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, and the calcite, and it's got barites.
I don't see any damage on that either.
No. It's perfect, and this one's from a couple of years ago. But kind of like a head of cauliflower sitting on matrix.
Beautiful, velvety.
Right.
Great color, and the sparkling calcite just sets it off. Really nice.
Yeah, and to get these barites here, we can see when it's got some on the backside as well on the matrix. But you know, a nice combination piece in the size.
Yeah.
With no damage,
great
of course,
piece.
it's hard to.
Yeah, it's nice to see them up and me doing something once in a while.
I know.
It was such
I
a
know.
treasure for so long.
Right, and that was wolfenite out of the same location.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, that was an extreme.
Yeah, the wolfenites from down there are pyramidal. And so different from the normal tabular wolfenites that we
It's
see.
just so hard to get anything
Well, yeah,
with this size that was undamaged.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
when you get something of this size, and it's got the lighter rosicites here on the bottom in association.
Yeah.
So
great specimen. Yeah.
So this thing,
my goodness,
it was a really strange thing. And Brian, I don't know if you can catch this light. So it's a rubellite, but it goes from green. You see the green core here, Bob?
Yeah, yeah.
And it goes to right here,
Yeah.
and then it stops, and it goes to blue-purple, and this thing's all terminated.
typical hemimorphic with the different terminations and opposite ends.
Yeah, so this obviously looks better in daylight because it's a rubellite, but this is what was really interesting was the green core that you can see there. I don't know if you can get that, Brian.
Yeah.
And then goes to the blue and gem, and the green core stops, and it goes to total rubellite.
Yeah. It shows how the content of a solution varies and changes as a crystal grows in that solution. You might get some other solution coming in, bringing in a different metal to give the different color. And then as that metal is used up, another metal becomes dominant and shows up.
Right.
So you got iron down here, manganese up here. It's terrific.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Hey, thank you. See you, Brian.
Brian,
Hi,
good
Bob.
to see you again. You know,
Likewise.
I've known you since you were a kid.
Yeah.
and I've known your dad since he lived in New Jersey,
I
for
know.
gosh sakes.
You can't imagine how many people in this business told me they've known me since I was this big.
Well,
So
you've been involved, and
Absolutely.
that's great. That
It's in the
means
blood.
You do know a little about minerals, maybe?
A little, a little.
What can you tell me about this shattuckite that I see here? I've seen quite a bit of it, but that's different.
Shattuckite, you know, you being an Arizona guy, you know it's named after the Shattuck mine in Bisbee.
Right.
And it's a fairly obscure copper silicate, typically not in very big crystals either. And this new discovery has produced a plethora with a wide range of colors and formations. This one in particular, we both like this. We gravitated to this piece. You saw it before. It has a soft, velvety appearance on the exterior, and then you flip it over and you
look
get
at
this
that. Look at that.
interesting cavernous hollow formations inside, and the color ranges from a very soft baby blue all the way to an almost deep, you'd say like a royal blue in the back there. This one has great character and form with several radiating spheres all over the front side of
That's
the
really
piece.
exceptional. Compared to some of the others I've seen, this really has a lot of character.
Yeah,
It really
and it's a good hand-sized piece. You know, big cabinet display piece. This is what everybody dreams of when they want a big, colorful secondary ore specimen. This is what you want.
Yeah, what's the exact location on it?
Well, right now we're only saying that it's from Shaba because we don't have an exact location. So recently there was a discovery of some very fine quality bornonites from Machicamarca. Similar to those from the Herodsfoot mine in Cornwall.
Oh, cogs wheels.
Big, bright,
Look at
metallic,
that,
broad crystals, thick and stepped faces, and you turn it to the side here, you can see all the little teeth, the cogs that come off the side of it.
Look at that. Yeah, some people...
Really good luster on the prism faces, but on the pinacoids here, you can see it's got kind of a selective deposition. It's a little bit matte luster.
A bit of a druzy, yeah.
Beautiful material for what it is, and you know, no damage whatsoever. You look all the way around these big crystals, and there's no dings on them.
Yeah,
They're in
if you had handed that to me, I'd have said, "Oh, good, Herodsfoot."
Yeah, you'd think Cornwall immediately.
Yeah.
It's along with the metallic minerals and the oxides. Bolivia is well known for its phosphates.
Right.
And we've got a honey of a wavelite here.
Isn't it?
A beautiful, large toenail, small miniature specimen, sparkling yellow spherical radiating group here with a nice gem quartz flaring off the side. And you know, you think of wavelite, it's a fairly common species, but to find a complete sphere undamaged with good color and good luster,
great luster,
it's really hard to come by. And this is a choice little specimen.
Is that Yayawa?
Yes, Siglomente, Yayagua. It's one of the most, if not the most iconic localities in Bolivia.
It's just a hyalite opal. That's such a common mineral. You find it. I mean, it's a green fluorescent smear on a rock.
Exactly.
But this comes from the classic European locality in Bohemia. and it looks like a crown of.
We call it a bird's nest sometimes.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's got that same kind of formation.
Yeah. Put that under a shortwave ultraviolet light.
Electric green. Yeah.
I mean, it just fires out.
It looks radioactive. Yeah. Actually, it's uranium, so I guess technically it is radioactive.
Yeah, a percentage of uranium is in the opal. And look at the box. That's your dad's trademark.
My dad
Absolutely.
was not just a collector of minerals, but just a collector in general.
Yeah.
So the majority of the collection is housed in these custom wooden boxes.
Isn't that something?
And each piece has its own box. And I recognize pieces in the collection based upon the box that they're in. I'm more familiar with the box than the piece that's inside sometimes. And I can say, oh, I know what's in there.
May I?
Please.
Look at that. Whoa.
This is what you dream about when it comes to Bolivian cassitterites.
Yeah. Brilliant luster, beautiful twinning, great crystals,
and
good
big,
size.
broad, smooth faces.
Yeah.
They're not complicated or busy. There's good isolation, considering that cassitterite can be kind of clumpy.
Right.
And they're really aesthetically placed atop the quartz in a way that you can display this piece from almost any angle and get a good view of cassitterites.
It's a winner.
Classic cyclic twinning, the stuff that you dream of for good Bolivian cassitterites.
You can see the cyclic twinning there.
Turn this one on its side. You can see how it radiates around.
Yeah, you can see here. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's showing up on the camera or not, but this is not just a black mineral. There's some color in here.
Yeah.
The majority of the cassitterite from Bolivia is black, but if you flash a little bit of light in there, you can see there's a tiny bit of amber and root beer coming through the edges. These crystals have a little bit of color in them too.
We can see it there, I think. Yeah.
There's so much tin in Bolivia, and it's typically in the form of cassitterite ore, but to find gem quality material is rare.
Nice.
I've got one last thing to show you, Bob.
Okay.
Because I've always got obscure minerals and unusual stuff, and I didn't want you to leave without seeing something that I'm pretty sure you wouldn't see anywhere else in Tucson.
All right.
You don't think of mica as a collector's species or the mica group?
No, it's an accessory mineral.
Exactly. It's an accoutrement.
All it does is hold up better specimens, better crystals.
Hold that and let me know what you think.
That's mica?
That's mica.
Good
the entire
grief,
thing.
What a crystal.
Flip it over. Show the people at home.
Yeah, I will.
You can see that typical platy iridescence that you expect in mica.
Look at that.
And if you pull your light out, you can actually get color to come through this thing. It's
really?
There's a nice amber golden color inside of there as well. See it on the sides here? Yeah, see that color coming through over there. It's amazing that crystals this thick would still pass light.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that.
And if you flip it over, it looks like a completely different mineral. It looks like a beryllinite on the top with all the little pointed ends.
When I first saw this, I thought, oh, that's an aragonite.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that little hexagonal, pseudo-hexagonal crystal.
It's the kind of rock that you show to people to make them guess what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to spend 30 seconds playing with it before they know what they're holding. Have you ever seen a piece of mica like this, Bob?
No, not at all. That's exceptional.
Thank
really
you.
is exceptional.
I really appreciate it.
God.
Thanks so much, Bob.
Thanks so much, Brian.
Take care.
See you again. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Bob.
Good
How
to
you
see
doing?
again.
Yeah.
Great, Dan.
Hi.
Yeah. Thanks for having me come in here.
Yeah.
I heard you had some pretty decent minerals that I'd like to look at.
Just a few.
Yeah. That silver caught my eye immediately when I walked in the door. That is really
Isn't that something?
Quite a rock.
All we know, it came out of a real old collection in Europe. That's all, they were pretty secretive about it. So, it's just a neat old label. It's 18 centimeters when you measure it.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Kind of like a
18
Medusa.
centimeters high. Came out of an old collection. I love the fact that you've at least got the old label there. I think that's great.
Yeah.
The provenance on some of these things is so important.
Oh, sure.
Look at that. Look at that. Wonderful. I've seen hundreds of Kongsbergs. This is a winner.
Yeah.
Really something else. Look at that.
A little bit of calcite on it.
I'll be darned. Yeah. Must have taken somebody a long time to bend all those wires. Gee whiz. Isn't that terrific?
Well, we don't have a lot to do in the winter in St. Louis, So,
okay.
It's cold. And
I'm going to put that back, and I'm going to let you put this back. Now, while we're on the subject of native elements, I see a gold over there that we ought to take a look at.
That's an old timer, too.
Is it?
The label says 1918.
1918, all right.
So, let's get it out.
All right.
It's really nicely crystallized.
Oh yeah, well I love it when they're on a matrix like that.
Yeah.
You know, you see these things loose or, you know, with no matrix. Yeah, they're beautiful, but this has a beautiful nest of gold in a matrix. It's
if
wonderful.
you look on the back of this label, there's additional writing.
Yeah, that's all
and I'd love to know what was blacked out.
Probably the name of the miner.
Yeah, probably the guy who
the guy who stole it out.
stole it from mine,
yeah. Yeah, I don't think this mine is not producing anything now.
No, I think that's actually an administrative area, and that's from Vera Spatak or the Rosia, Montana.
Beautiful.
Really. But
a lot of that is electrum, but this one looks like it's pretty high in gold content.
I think it's got more gold.
Good. I've seen a few bornonites from Yayawa in that area, but this one is
heavy.
It's amazing. So many crystals and all beautifully twinned and cogswheel crystals. Now, exactly where is that from? What's the locality?
It's the Viboras mine. I guess that's how they pronounce it. I don't know my Spanish so well. But, they've been producing bornonites from there for many years, but nothing like this. You know,
that's the giveaway. That this cannot be from anywhere else except Bolivia with the quartz associated with it. That's wonderful, wonderful specimen.
Pyrite matrix.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. And stable too, obviously.
We have one more real special thing. It's a new species.
Yeah, you guys, you always have something put away.
Try to have something, you know. I mean,
let's see.
Everybody knows Marshall Sussman, I'm sure.
Sure.
He was just honored with a new species named after him. And that's probably the best one.
You know, the beauty of this is that now when they find a mineral to name it after somebody, it's usually a little crumb.
Yeah. I think he got lucky on this one.
Yeah, he sure did. That is really a winner. Now, where's that from?
That's from the Wessels mine.
Is it?
It's about 2 years out of the ground.
Okay, Black Rock District.
When they first came out, they were analyzed in Africa, and they thought they were bustamite. And, of course, subsequent work has since found that it's actually a new species.
Okay.
So.
Is it a manganese species?
Yeah. Well, it's close to cerandite, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Great.
Chemistry.
Beautiful crystals. My gosh, for a new mineral, that's exceptional. It really is exceptional for a new mineral. As I say, most new minerals you need a glass.
Yeah.
Not this.
No, not that one.
Yeah, Marshall got lucky on that. Wonderful.
So,
thank you very much. That's
thank you.
Wonderful. What's all this I see behind you here?
Those are delicious wines.
Is it?
Yes.
Really? I see mineral pictures on the labels.
I think the man to show you these would be the man who makes them.
All right. Hi, Brad.
Hello,
Good
Bob.
to see you again, by golly.
Good to see you, too.
You've got a great spread here. My gosh. When I joined your club, I was anxious to get a few bottles of wine like this. And this idea of putting labels of minerals on the bottles is just fantastic. So what's new?
Well, we have some new releases this year. Last year was our inaugural release of mineral wines here in Tucson, and we had a great success there and have had a little momentum now with creating not only new wines, but some new artwork and a new look to our mineral image. So what we have are 5 wines this year that are new for release. We have a new look to the mineral labels with some nice gold borders, some embossing, and some spectacular minerals as well, with a couple of new varieties, which means new art. Every variety that we make will have a different piece of art.
What a great idea. Wonderful. This is new to me.
Well, our Meritage is basically a new vintage of a wine that we make that's a Bordeaux blend. It is made of Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, and Merlot. And because last year's vintage won Best of Class of Region at the California State Fair, which was a real honor for us, we decided to put gold on the label. And so we're having a lot of fun with this, formerly of the Barlow collection. And now the darling of our collection. And so we honor the Meritage with some gold on the label. Another new label we have is aquamarine with fluorite from Orongo Mountain. And our Cabernet Franc is a terrific variety, a little lighter in character, but full of really wonderful aromas and very nice cherry flavors, and also very fun for us. And especially with the art being done by Fred Wilda, he did a great job.
Fred's a
on
great
the piece.
artist, yeah.
This is an incredible decanter, which uses not only just beautiful art.
Look at that.
But yes, we have amethyst and quartz crystals inside the wand, and this is something that has a lovely sound, doesn't it? And actually you have a chance to give a little contact of the crystal oven to this wine that's being decanted now. There's a great, it's a well-designed decanter because it does have a large surface area that allows great aeration of the wine. And for a wine that's freshly opened or freshly bottled, our Merlot, Cabernet Franc, these go really well with an aerator or with a decanter. And it also has a great look to it.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Just beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of work. All right. Brett, thanks so much.
Thank you very
I'm going to
much,
get
Bob.
off camera so I can have a wine.
Hey, that's time for that.
Hi, Sue. How are you?
Hi, Bob.
Nice to see you.
Good
Al?
to see you.
Hi,
Bob. Good to
Sue
see
and
you.
Al
Great to be
Levitrau
here.
from the Northwest. They have a marvelous exhibit here at the Westward Look where some of the finest things in their collection are being shown, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. I noticed that one of the things you do when you exhibit is to group specimens according to species, like you've got a shelf, and you exhibited at the show, a shelf of silvers and a shelf of fluorites. Tell me about where did you get that idea? What caused that to happen?
I guess we tend to collect suites of things. Maybe because we can't stop once we get interested in something.
A true collector.
But we've collected fluorite for years and years. We've collected calcite for years and years. We've collected silver for fewer years. But we thought because those were major aspects of our collection that it would be nice to exhibit them that way.
Yeah, good, yeah, it really is nice. Al, how did you get started collecting?
How did I get started?
Yeah.
It was through my wife. And we
It's all
met.
your fault, sir.
I take the blame.
We went collecting in Upper Michigan on our honeymoon.
Really? My goodness. Most people do other things on their honeymoon.
Yeah, well,
we did that too.
So you must have started earlier.
Yes, I started as a very small child, picking rocks out of the local service station parking lot and fossils, and our friend's granite driveway.
Okay, now where was this?
This was in Wisconsin.
All right, and Al, you're from Wisconsin too,
Yes.
aren't you? Okay.
She's from Madison, and I'm from a little town 20 miles down the road.
So did you go to school together?
No,
or-
we were in the same athletic conference.
So when you started collecting, did you have a specialty in one particular kind of mineral, or?
I would say if we focused on anything, we focused on fluorite because we were living in the Midwest and it was something we could afford back then.
Yeah.
You know, you've been a teacher. On teacher's salaries, you do not buy very many
That's for
minerals.
sure. So you were a school teacher?
Yes,
And
we
Alan,
both were.
You were
Also,
too. What did you teach?
I taught math.
Okay, and Sue?
English and speech.
All right. Now, in the collection that you have, and it must be fairly good size now because you've been collecting for years, which species are your favorites, if you have any? Fluorite, obviously. would be
I
one.
think fluorite has to be one of them. Calcite is
Calcite?
still wonderful.
And you've got a lot of nice silvers. I mean, that's got to be.
We love the silver. It's getting a little priced out of our range, but we still love it.
But the exhibit downstairs is worldwide. You've got things from all over the world, all different species.
Well, you see, Bob, we like all of it.
So you're eclectic collectors.
Yeah, that's
that's a nice
that's
way
the
to put it.
complimentary way of saying it. Unfocused is the other way.
That's good.
But seriously, we have never been very good at taking the advice to spend what you have on the best specimen you can get.
Yeah.
And in that sense, we have been unfocused.
Yeah. So you like a variety.
We like a variety.
We certainly do.
And that's good. To me, that's a sign of a good collector. Are there any minerals that are on display downstairs now that are particular favorites of yours, including the fluorite shelf?
Well, I think for me, and you can speak for yourself, but for me, probably two of the favorites are the little blue Chinese fluorite with the curved edges that sits in the front row in the on the left-hand case when you're facing the cases. And just above it, or just below it, just above it, there's a silver specimen from Guanajuato with little polybasite rosettes on it, and I love that piece.
That's great. Al, what favorites are yours?
Well, I kind of like the ones which show oddities of form. That fluorite that is the arch in the lower right has no contact points except at the base where it's sitting. And in one of the shelves on the right, there's a copper specimen, which I believe is a double-twinned copper specimen. And I like the forms that are unusual.
Yeah, good. Being a math teacher.
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah, good. Now, in all the years you've been collecting, I'm sure you have had experiences of obtaining a specimen or trying to get a specimen or something unusual that's happened when trying to get a specimen. What of that can you think of?
Well, several years ago at Tucson, we looked at a lot of the stibnites.
The Chinese.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And
the hedgehogs.
We didn't see anything that really looked all that great.
Okay.
But a couple of months later, we saw one offered for sale on the website of a dealer. Now, can I mention the name? Ross Lilly.
Okay.
And
good guy.
And we know Ross, and we got in touch with him. It was still available. We agreed on a price, and Ross said, "Well, fine, it's yours, but I'm not going to send it to you." and so we agreed that he would bring it to Denver. We would pick it up in Denver and carry it back home. Now, in the meantime, we actually had a meeting in the Detroit area, and so we planned to visit Ross, and we actually went to visit our stibnite, but there was no way we were carrying that through airport security.
That's hilarious.
So we negotiated a visit, and later on got the rock home, and then, as you know, we were stupid enough, I guess, or whatever you call it, to take it to Tucson to display, not once, but twice. Wow. And we didn't bring it to this show because we thought we were pressing our luck.
Yeah, 3 times would be a real challenge.
So
great story. So you actually paid homage to your specimen.
Yes, we did.
We did that.
That's pretty funny. Well, how do you see your collecting future? Do you have any thoughts on any direction you want to go in with or just want to keep after fluorites and the way you've been going, or do you have some special direction you want to take?
We're slowing down quite a bit, as one has to do as one gets older, I guess. And we will probably always love the fluorite, but we're also talking about maybe focusing on something else.
Oh, good.
And I looked at the mineralogical record production of Desmond Sacco's collection, and I said, maybe we should collect African minerals.
There you go.
So we don't know.
Oh, that would be a can of worms doing that.
Yes,
I suppose.
would. I think at this point.
Have you gotten any ideas from looking at the What's Hot in Tucson videos or the What's Hot in Munich videos or CDs? Have you seen anything there that kind of wants you to move in a certain direction, or any good ideas?
Well, actually, we've been fortunate enough to see on What's Hot in Tucson a number of specimens that we had subsequently bought.
Yeah, that's right.
So I guess we're thinking in the same direction.
Yeah, there's one year where you bought 4 specimens.
3 or 4 of them that actually were
all
on the What's Hot in Tucson. I thought, this is amazing.
Right.
Including fluorescent.
Oh, that's right. You were into fluorescent minerals, too. Yeah. That's a different kind of part of the hobby, but a good one. It got me started. So. Yeah, that's great. So you're going to just continue what you're doing, but you're giving serious thought to Africa.
Maybe. Or maybe just stay with fluorite.
Maybe we should just stay with fluorite at this point and slowly wind down. Because we are getting to the point where we have to worry about what to do with the collection.
Have you given any thought to that?
Quite a bit.
No
we come to a
conclusions.
conclusion? Not really.
Yeah. Well, but it's good that you are thinking in that direction. Everybody should, because every collector should, at some point, make provision for that legacy. You've done all this work. You spent years of your time and effort and knowledge to assemble a collection, which you've done marvelously so. So at some point, you need to make a decision.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank you both for being here.
Thank you for
Sue,
being willing to interview us.
Oh, it's been great. I've known you folks for decades.
For 30
Been a long
years.
time,
Decades.
hasn't it?
30 years. First time we wrote to you about a trip to Alaska.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes,
way back
when
when.
you wrote about Gary
my God.
McWilliams
Yeah,
and the...
Oh, yeah. Gary McWilliams was a collector in Colorado, and he sold his collection and bought a boat.
Right, and we went on the boat
Oh, for gosh sake.
and collected rocks.
I'm learning something every day. That's great. Well, thanks again for being here. It's been wonderful.
Isometric minerals are easy to adore, a visual geometric symphony. Simple, succinct, and understandable. Equal axes at 90 degrees. Equal axes at 90 degrees. There's something truly special about a cube. An octahedron truly is so classy. The pyritohedron is so cute. The tetrahexahedron is just sassy. The tetrahexahedron is just sassy. The dodecahedron is so cool. Parallelograms knock off my socks. Trapezohedrons make me drool. The isometric system really rocks. The isometric system really rocks. Take the orthorhombic system, please. Its axes disproportionate and long. Tetragonal is just a little tease. So close to isometric, but so wrong. So close to isometric, but so wrong. The triclinic system's high on crack. A single point defines the symmetry. Everything about it's out of whack, with faces all askew and running free. With faces all askew and running free. The pinnacoid is truly a disgrace. The pedion, it really is a curse. The dome and the disphenoid are ridiculous. With twinning, they only become worse. The hexagonal system is just silly. Its axes are cause for consternation. Equal axes at 60 degrees. Geez, sure to cause aesthetic constipation. Sure to cause aesthetic constipation. Don't get me started on the monoclinic. Crystals all lopsided and uneven. Who could think of symmetry like that? It must be a mistake, I'm believing. It must be a mistake, I'm believing. The isometric minerals are easy to adore, a visual geometric symphony. Simple, succinct, and understandable. Equal axes at 90 degrees. Equal axes at 90 degrees. Equal axes at 90 degrees.